Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRIENDS and Detroit LIONS fans. Let's get to the news now. Let's talk about something that's been buzzing around the league. A major potential trade that could reshape the NFC North, and more specifically, give the Detroit Lions a serious boost in their quest for Super Bowl glory. This isn't just some rumor. It's a strategic move that could shake up the entire landscape of the NFC and significantly impact how the Lions approach the upcoming offseason and beyond. Sources close to the league are whispering about a blockbuster deal involving Patrick Surtain, the Denver Broncos' standout cornerback. Now, for Lions fans who have been watching the secondary, you know how crucial it is to have shut-down corners who can lock down top receivers and make big plays when it counts. Surtain, with his elite skills, is exactly that kind of guy. He's been dominating in 2025 with an impressive stat line that includes 85 tackles, 6 interceptions, which put him in the top 5 in the league, along with 18 pass breakups. His PFF grade is a solid 91.3, and he's allowed just 45% completion rate on passes thrown his way. His yards after catch allowed is a mere 3.2 yards per reception, and he's winning tackles at an 87% clip. That's the kind of player the Lions desperately want to pair with their talented secondary, especially with Jeff Okudah and Jerry Jacobs fighting through injuries this season. But that's where it gets really interesting. The Broncos, sitting at 4-11 and deep in a rebuild after a disappointing season, might be willing to part ways with Surtain. Why? Well, Denver is facing some financial and roster challenges. They're looking to free up about $24 million in cap space, which could be used to bolster their offensive line, an area that's been giving them trouble all year. The Broncos are also dealing with their own issues on defense, allowing 27 points per game, and they're probably eyeing a rebuild that might not include Surtain in the long term, especially with their record and future outlook. From the Lions' perspective, acquiring Surtain could be a game changer. Imagine adding a player of his caliber to a defense that already features the emerging talent of Brian Branch and a solid front. The Lions are currently 10-5, fighting for playoff positioning, and they need every advantage they can get. Bringing in Surtain could elevate their secondary to a whole new level, especially in high-pressure playoff games where shutting down the opponent's top receivers becomes even more critical. Now, looking at the broader picture, the trade would likely involve the Lions offering a first-round pick and a second-round pick in this year's draft, a significant price, but one that could pay off big time. Surtain's impact on the field goes beyond just his stats. His ability to lock down receivers and limit yards after catch helps stabilize the secondary in big moments. Plus, his presence on the field could give the Lions' defensive coordinator more flexibility to blitz or double-team other threats, knowing Surtain can handle his man one-on-one. The potential fallout from this move is huge. The Broncos, after trading Surtain, would be left with a secondary that's significantly less experienced and less talented, which could hurt them in a division as competitive as the AFC West. Meanwhile, for the Lions, this could be the piece that pushes them over the edge, especially considering how much they've already improved defensively this season. Adding a player like Surtain could help them reduce passing yards allowed from 220 to around 180 yards per game, increase interceptions from around 7 to nearly 14, and improve their overall team coverage by roughly 25%. That's a massive upgrade, one that could see Detroit turning into a defensive powerhouse and seriously challenging the top teams come playoff time. And speaking of playoffs, this move could be the difference maker. With Surtain's proven ability to turn the tide of a game with a timely interception or a clutch pass breakup, the Lions could become a nightmare for offenses. His 6 INTs in 2025 already show he has a nose for the ball, and with more opportunities, it's realistic to see him rack up even more, especially in the postseason. His presence would also allow Detroit to employ more aggressive man-to-man coverage, which would complement their existing schemes and give their pass rush more time to get home. Now, let's not forget the big picture here. The Lions are already on the rise, with their offense firing on all cylinders thanks to Jared Goff's leadership and their dynamic skill players. But defense wins championships, and adding a lockdown corner like Surtain could be the final piece that puts Detroit over the top. Plus, the team's current trajectory suggests they're only going to get better. The coaching staff, led by Dan Campbell, has shown resilience and adaptability, and this kind of move would demonstrate their willingness to go all in on a championship run. And yet, the Broncos are hesitant. They see Surtain as a cornerstone of their future, but the opportunity to acquire multiple draft picks might be too tempting to pass up. It's a classic case of a rebuilding team weighing the immediate benefits of a star player against the long-term strategy of stockpiling assets. For Denver, it might be about the future, but for Detroit, it's about seizing the moment, capitalizing on the opportunity to elevate their secondary to elite status. When we look at the upcoming offseason, it's clear that the Lions are positioning themselves as serious contenders. They've already made significant strides with their offense, but defense was the missing piece. Now, with a potential move for Surtain, they're signaling that they're not afraid to make bold moves to chase that Super Bowl title. The NFC is wide open, and teams like the Eagles and 49ers remain formidable, but Detroit's aggressive approach could be what sets them apart in the postseason. This potential trade also echoes the kind of bold moves that teams like the Rams made in recent years, boosting their roster with game-changing players and turning their fortunes around. The Lions are in that same position now, ready to make a statement that they're not just happy being playoff contenders, they're aiming for the ultimate prize. Surtain's addition could be the catalyst that helps them get there, transforming a good team into a true championship-caliber squad. Of course, all of this hinges on negotiations and the willingness of the Broncos to part ways. But if the deal goes through, it will be one of the most impactful moves of the offseason, and Lions fans should be excited about the possibilities. Imagine a defense where Surtain shadows the opponent's best receiver, Branch patrols the middle with his instinctive playmaking, and the front seven applies relentless pressure. That's a recipe for dominance, and it could be just around the corner. Thinking long-term, this move might also pave the way for the Lions to be even more aggressive in free agency or the draft, knowing they've already addressed one of their biggest needs. The secondary, which has shown flashes of brilliance but also vulnerability, could become the backbone of a championship-winning team. The confidence boost for the entire unit would be enormous, and that kind of leadership and talent is not easy to find. So as the league moves closer to the offseason, all eyes will be on the negotiations, the potential trade, and how this could reshape the NFC North and the entire NFC playoff picture. Lions fans should be optimistic but also ready for the possibility of this game-changing move. It's a bold step, but one that could define the franchise's future for years to come. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Detroit Lions. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Detroit Lions news.